Hey guys, so welcome to this particular session. And here I'm going to talk about the data analysis, and I'll take one sample data set, try to understand how to go ahead and solve any data analysis problem. Now, data analysis is very important to understand the entire data set. And again, if you consider that as a just a job, then this will not work. Again, you should have a passion to explore the data set. Now, once I have a data set with me, how to proceed and how we can go ahead and try to come up with some insights from that data set is what we'll see. So once you get any data analysis problem with from the client or maybe anywhere, right? So what you have to do is you have to first understand the data, what the data is all about, what all fields are there, and what is the meaning of each field. After that, import the data set in the Python instance, and after that we can go ahead and try to understand the data in detail. We can have some set of questions with us that these are the important KPIs which I can think of, and we can come up with the answers for that. And based on those lines, the generic code is ready. And after that, if business will ask, maybe let's say that I want to know the sales in US, which is a question from my side. If business asks that what is the sales in Japan, so just you have to change the parameter and the values are with you. So those important KPIs are very important. So in this particular exercise, what we are going to do is we have a video game data set. We will go ahead and try to solve this video game data set, and we'll come up with the insights. We'll try to solve 7 different questions. And while solving that, we will understand how to proceed to any of the data analysis problem. So let me share my screen. So here is my data set, which we have. And in this data set, you can see that we have basically multiple fields out here. So the one is nothing but the rank, which shows some rank on how the sales is going on. After that, we have the name of the sports, like which type of game it is, like WII sports, then Super Mario, Mario Kart, and so on. There are different types of games we have. So from here, I'm understanding that some rank is there. If I see the rank, I think it's the overall rank. We have to understand that also. So you can see if I'm selecting one, then I'm getting only one record. That means looks like it's an overall rank, which is what given to the data set. After that, we have the name of the game, and after that, we have the platform. Platform looks like on like Xbox or something like that is what I'm understanding from here. That you can see this X 360, and I think looks like the gaming console it is talking about. After that, we have the year, on which year the game was launched, which type of genre it is. For example, it's a sports type of game, or it's a racing type of game, or simulation type of game, or shooter type of game. Who is the publisher, like who actually created this game and published the game in the market. And then we have the sales for NA is North America, EUR is Europe, JAP looks like Japan, India sales, and the global sales. So these are the values we have, and the data is pretty much straightforward. Looks like not a very tough data to analyze. It's very nice data, and things are looking fine here. So what we can do is we'll go to the Python and we'll first import this data set and try to understand how this data will give me the insights, right? So in that case, first of all, I have to set the working directory. So this is my working directory where the file is present. So I will go ahead and import os.chdr, and I'll give the path out here. Here we go. And then I'll first import the relevant packages, which are nothing but the pandas, the matplotlib, and the cbon, because we are going to use that a lot. So we have import pandas as pd is the alias, import matplotlib.pyplot as plt, and import cbon as SNS. So these are the 3 important packages which we will need in our analysis point of view. So the data set which I have looks like a CSV file. Yes, it is, right? So it's a CSV file. So this looks good. So I will go ahead and import pd.read CSV, and the file name is video game sales dot csv. Let's give the name as video games, or video game underscore df, right? This is what my data frame name should be. You can give any name. There is no hard and fast rule for this. Video game dot shape will help me understand that how many rows and columns are there. So there are 500 rows in the data set and 100 columns, 11 columns are there in my data set. Video games dot df dot info. So here you can see that we have some details coming about the data set, that which type of columns are there. So rank is an integer column, name platform coming from the object, it's a categorical data. Then we have float again, which is the year, because year coming in 2010.0 something like this. We can clean that, but as of now we don't need it, so that's fine. Then we have genre and publisher, which is again the categorical data, and then rest of the sales are also the float. So this looks good. Now after that, what we'll see, is there any null values? So we'll go ahead and check dot is null dot sum. There are some null values out here, but very less, so that's okay. If you want, you can go ahead and populate with the missing value treatment, but as of now that's perfectly fine. We'll go with the same. We'll not go ahead and do any data manipulations on this, because it's very less. It's just a 4 or 5 records. So now the first question, now once I have this data set, which we already have an understanding when we saw the CSV file, so it's a pretty much straightforward data set. Some of the key questions which comes in my mind is that after 2000s, basically the games people have started playing a lot, right? So maybe I can ask some question like, how many games have been sold between year 2001 and 2010 in millions across maybe all the countries and globally. That is what my requirement is, right? So in that case, I have to filter out the data and play around with it and come up with the insights. So here again, we can have multiple approaches. Either you can filter out here, either you can maybe apply some for loops and pick up the values, whatever you can go with. There are multiple ways to solve the problem, right? So I'll go with the bit of tricky, which is applying the for loop, so that we'll have a better understanding how we can use for loops as well. Here I can print first of all some idea that, okay, I'm calculating the amount of millions, or I'm calculating the total, and or I can say calculating the country and global sales, something like this, right? I'm just writing it maybe between year 2001 and 2010, right? So this is what I will print, but before that I will just add one more line of a code where I just give the title, that is my question number 1, which I think I can go for. So how many games have been sold between 2001 and 2010 in millions of all countries and globally, right? That this is my question looks like. So this came in my mind. So basically you can think of anything. You may have chosen different year, that is fine, but the code is ready for me now. I just have to change the year, right? So that is the whole idea. So if someone will ask that, okay, find the sales from 1986 till 2000, you have to just change the year in the code and you are done with it. So year count, let's say year count, I'm creating a variable, and here I will iterate on for I in range 2001 till 2011, where 11 will not participate. I'll say count in range is equal to video games df dot loc video game df of year. After that, dot is in year count, right? So year count basically gonna be the for loop which we have created, so it is going to pick up the individual values. Let's see what's there in my count in range. So in the count in range, we are getting something which is looks like from that year. You can see it's 2001, 2006. Looks like it picked up only the data for that year. So this is now easy. I have a data set which has only 2001 till 2010, and now I can apply a filter on this piece only. North America sales, sum of count in range is basically my data frame, and in here I will look for NA sales. And if I go ahead and print NA sales, you'll get the total sales 783. Right? Obviously, it's $1 million. So this is looking fine. I can obviously round off also, but this is what it is. It's simple, right? And I can print. That I have total /n is a new line character. So total sales in the North America from 2001 to 2010 is round of NS in the millions. Done. I got the output. Straightforward. Let me do one thing. Let me copy this and put it here so that everything will come in a single cell. So now this I have to replicate for the other countries as well, and then globally just I have to sum up the things. Or I think the global sales field is there, so I'll just pick up the values. So for the Europe, I just have to change this to Europe, and you can see that this is a generic code for me, and it's with me now. It's very uh, nice, right? So let me go to video games. Let me check what is the column name. EUR sales. So EUR underscore sales. Right. So I have to change the number here and change the name here. Sorry. So Europe. So here is the Europe sales 521 millions. And I can give this as also EU or something. E sales, ES. Okay. So keep these things in mind. And this round off also be ES, right? So now it is 521 millions. Now the same thing will happen in my next country as well. So my next country is Japan. Here I will have JAP sales, and here I'll just change to Japan. This is looking good. Let's give this as JS, and here we have JS as well. 192 millions what we are seeing. And finally, we have to find for India as well as the global. So we have the India sales. Let's give the name as IS. Again, there's a problem because IS is a keyword. So IIS should be the one we have to go for. IND sales. India sales, and we are getting some error. IIS is not defined because here it's missing. So IIS was not defined, so now it is defined, $189. And finally, the global sales. So here I'll just put GS. Perfect. Here is the global sales. Here I'll put global. Here I'll put GS. Done. $1,685 million. Right? So this is it. Simple, right? I can create the chart also. I would have created the chart also, but that's fine. This is at the end I need the information. We are exploring the data. So it's just a single number. So I went with a text. If you think you want to create a single chart with four different countries, right? So you have to pivot the data. Basically, you have to pivot that because these are the columns, and we have to do the pivoting. So that's the reason I did not create 4 bars in a single chart. Right, so this is nice. So we got the very first understanding how things work. And then now let's go to the second question which came in my mind is that I want to know, like, if I go back to my video games data, I want to know which has a highest, like, what is the count of platform, which is the highest count in the platform, basically. Right, so I want to know that WIA is more or NES is more or like that. And also I want to know who is the highest count and publisher, right? So basically on which platform people are playing the game a lot, and who are the publishers of which game they are playing a lot. Right? That is the whole idea. Is my question is so. My question number two comes in is that I want to create a data frame. Create a data frame for platforms and publisher have been in the top in maximum counts, and obviously you have to sort it also. And that is what the idea is. And top means I'll take top 15 maybe. Top 15 are fine, right? So we'll take top 15. So first of all, I will create two data frame. One is top of a platform, and here I will call video game BF, which is my data frame dot platform dot value counts and dot head of 15. Right, that is my top platform. Same way I will have top publisher as well. So top publisher, here we have publisher and top publishers are with me. And then I just have to convert this to a data frame. Just that's it, right? So if you see here, you will check the output how it looks like. So we have top platform. This is my top platform. It's a series, and I can see that this is like we have the PS2 as having the highest value, and then PSP is the last. I can just write pd.to data frame, or I can say data frame, and here we go. We have converted the data into a data frame. Same thing I will do for top publisher as well, and here are the publishers for me. So from here I can say that Nintendo is having the highest as a count, and PS2 is having the highest count as well. So it's straightforward, right? So this is also not very tough task to find out the details. Now the next question came in my mind is that I want to know the average global sales by publisher, right? There are different publishers we have, and I want to find the average global sales. I want to find the minimum global sales, and I want to find the maximum global sales. Three values I want to find out, right? So my question number three comes out to be how to aggregate the mean, minimum, and maximum of games based on publisher for global sales, right? That is what my question came in my mind. And again, you can see that these are the generic questions. From here I can able to answer. If someone will change or tweak a question a bit, I can still able to answer. So here what we'll do is we have AGG of result, because I want to aggregate the data. So video game df dot group by, and here I will do by publisher, and I will aggregate. AGG is the function which we will go for. I want to aggregate my global sales. So global sales, where S should be capital because in the column it is column, colon will have the mean, we have the minimum, and we have the maximum. Will this give me something? Execute it, fine, looks good. AGG result, and now I can see that we have the different games and different average of global sales coming in. We can sort it also, right? We can sort this data also, and we can understand like which game is having, which publisher is having the highest sales happening. And so that is the whole idea. And you can see that Nintendo was doing earlier also, but we saw that it's, you can see 9.3 is what we have the highest. Simple. Now the next question comes is some more interesting question. Let's say I want to go to US. I am a businessman. I want to go to US and I want to get into the gaming industry. So my question comes first in my mind is that if I want to target, let's assume that we want to join the gaming industry and want to target the US market, which is good. Which genre should we try to make? That means which type of game should we try to make, right? So which genre should we try to make? That is the question coming in now. So this is also an interesting question, right? And this can be one of the scenarios. So if I go back to my video games, and if you see the genres, we have sports, we have racing, platform, role playing, miscellaneous, and lot many genres are there. Say shooter, and lot many genres are there. We can get the genre unique values also, right? Different type of unique values also we can get. So for example, we have the genre dot unique, right? So we have different types of genres. We have sports, platform racing, role playing, puzzle, miscellaneous, shooters, simulation, action, fighting, adventure, and strategy. Now, our task is to know that what should we go for, right? That is the idea. So for that, first of all, I will only filter out the US data. So I will say top maybe 1,000 records or something. I can take all also, but let's go with top 1,000. Video games dot sort the values on based on the NA sales in an ascending order as false, because we want the highest, right? So, and I'll say head of 1,000. If you want 1,000, if you don't want 1,000, you can just remove this head of 1,000 and you are done, right? So that is perfectly fine. So these are my 1,000 records, right? Like 1,000 points, and again you have the 500 rows, right? So that's perfectly fine. We have only 500 rows, and you can see that these are the 1,000, or I can say basically it's a 500 only, so there is no 1,000 records, but just a generic code if there are more number of records in that case. But this is what I have now. So what we will do is I'll go and apply some chart on this, maybe a pie chart, maybe pie chart, bar chart, whatever. Let's go with a pie chart, right? So I'll say I'll create a variable top 1,000 US genre is my top 1,000 US dot genre dot value counts. So if I check this variable now, you can see that we have the value counts action, and that is the answer. Straight away, that is the answer, because action is having the most number of counts. But let's go ahead and create a pie chart, right? So let's go plt.pie, and maybe I'll use top US genres. My labels are nothing but top US genre dot index. Index is basically the action and all. Auto PCT, basically it's gonna give me the percentages. So I want my percentages with 1.1f2 percentages, and the start angle I want it as 180 degree. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, so 180 degree, that it was a start angle, and then it created the chart. This all these junk I don't want, so I'll just say plt dot plot, sorry, plt dot show. That will remove all this unnecessary text in between, and I'll give the title of the chart plt dot title, and here I'll say top 10 genre in the US. So title is also coming in. I think that's fine, right? If you want, you can give the legends also, and you can increase the size also. That also we can do. But for analysis point of view, we are good. But let's increase the size if you want to. Fix size. Let's say I want 10, 10. It's a bit bigger pie chart you're getting, Right? Maybe you can reduce a bit. It's quite big. So let's say 7,7, and here it is. Okay, so that is the idea. So basically from here we are understanding 21% market share is on the action. So if I want to get into gaming industry in the US, then I think action is the one which I can think of, and then shooter, and then sports, and then role playing. Right, so you can see platform. This is a bigger chunk, but action is having almost 1/4 of the market share. So that is a good idea. Question number five. Question number five. Let's say, who is the top publisher in Japan? Who is the top publisher in Japan? Right? Now it's again, you can see the generic data problem we have, right? If someone will say who is the top publisher in US, you just have to change the filter and you are done, right? So that is the whole motive here. So top publisher, videogame.df dot group by, I want to group by publisher, and I'll do the sum, right? So if I go back to my top publishers, here we go. This is my data set. Now here what we'll do, we'll sort it. As of now the data is not sorted, so it's difficult for me to track the things. Let's go ahead and sort this. So top publisher in the Japan is basically top publisher dot sort the values based on the Japan sales in the ascending order as false. And let's see, top publisher underscore JP. Here we go. 218 Nintendo, right? So Nintendo is actually doing good in almost every countries. Looks like that only from the overview, right? So that is what my fifth question will be. Now question arises, how the racing games are performing over the period of time. Question 6, how the racing games are performing over the period of time, right? So that is my new question coming in. So let's go ahead and solve it. So for that, maybe I can create a chart, video games df dot lock. So I want video game df genre, because genre is having racing, is equal to racing. And if I see, this is my data for only racing, you can see it's coming only racing. And I want to see how the things are over the period of time. So in 2001, how much the sales happened and so on every year. Let me store this value somewhere. So let's say racing game list. I'm creating a variable. And from here, I can create a bar chart. So sns.bar plot. And we have data is equal to video game df. X is equal to year. And Y is equal to global sales. And in fact, I will use this data frame as an input because this is my racing data only, because I'm interested in the racing part. So you see that, let me increase the size of it. The plot is not looking that great. So plt.figure, here we go, fix size, and I'll make it maybe 24,12 something, so it's more broader. So you can see that the sales are increasing. In 2008 it was very nice, but now after that 2008 things are not looking good for the racing type of games. Same way, let's say someone asks for the shooter games, I just change the filter here, right? And I will just explore. So here we have shooter, and here we go. I just have to rename this to shooter so that we will be on the same line. Shooter. And you can see that in 1984 it was quite high, but after that it's decreasing. So that is how we can solve the problem statements, and it's very, very interesting, right? So basically the idea is that if your understanding is good on the data, and if you have passion, you have questions coming in by yourself in your mind, try to solve it. Try to think of a questions which are more generic. So these are the things which you have to understand and proceed with any data analysis type of problem statements. I hope this makes sense. See you in the next video. Till then, take care.